the first to know Nsem-Pii TV.
Good evening, Ghana. Jumedie so. Ana ene lawyer Paul Adumoche edi Nsem-Pii to dwa efa honorable Haruna Iddrisu on the Minister for Education. Ene honorable Okudzeto ablakwa on say the Minister for Foreign Affairs. Na nyina fa say hwan ana ba be running mate ana say NDC amonye kunu kwanyame omadom na 2028 almost election sa weni a why ana betimi abe vice president for the people of Ghana. Now within NDC amonye kunu say ne say wutie lawyer Paul Adumoche nsem a odi tudwa efa enoma bi a ekoso NDC amonye kunu ena efa entokwa bi a ekoso between honorable Haruna Iddrisu ene Samuel Okudzeto ablakwa honorable a nyina ene say o NDC amonye kunu de ekoso NDC amonye kunu say election 2028 nipa obetimi abelidi party no or their 2028 general election current vice president for the people of Ghana Professor Nana Jane Opoku Agyeman na nyame adom na obelidi NDC amonye kunu election 2028 between honorable Haruna Iddrisu and honorable Samuel Okudzeto ablakwa mubako ana betimi ayene running mate na nyame adom kwa na NDC amonye kunu timi sa we power election 2028 why ana be ne vice president for the people of Ghana na no ana akofa Nsem-Pii ekoso NDC amonye kunu efa honorable Haruna Iddrisu ene honorable Samuel Okudzeto ablakwa entem akoye ntokwa na the lawyer Paul Adumoche are breaking it down I go too deep abusia wo de enjebre ni ntie lawyer Paul Adumoche nsem a odi tudwa efa ntokwa bi a ekoso ntokwa nkitikiti bi a ekoso honorable Haruna Iddrisu the Minister for Education and honorable Samuel Okudzeto ablakwa ono say the Minister for Foreign Affairs.
I told you before that Iddrisu Haruna, the Minister for Education, and Samuel Okudzeto ablakwa, the Minister for Foreign Affairs, who is an Odadie, are fighting. They are fighting gidi 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 gidi. And I'm going to tell you why they are fighting tonight. So what has happened is that first, for you to believe me that they are fighting, I need to show you two videos. Now, the first video I'm going to show you is Iddrisu Haruna here speaking at Mauli Secondary School for their, I think it was their 75th anniversary, Mauli 75. And he said that you cannot keep your hair and come to school, and you remember that sparked off all the whether to keep the hair or not to keep the hair. The foreign minister, Okudzeto ablakwa, goes to his former school, having been invited as the guest speaker, which for this year at Presec was quite different from the special guest of honor. So there was a special guest of honor, and then there was a guest speaker, which was him. He is part of the government of Haruna Iddrisu. He didn't have to say that, he didn't have to contradict the education minister. He didn't need to. In fact, it was wrong for him to. If I'm chief of staff, he's the one I'm going to punish, because the one minister spoke first about it. Even if that's not the government position, another minister should not go public against it. So our great friend from Odadie may be wrong in this regard, because Iddrisu Haruna spoke first, and he is the sector minister. He controls education, and he spoke and said that your haircut, it won't work. I'm not interested. Go and cut your hair. Shut up over there. That's what he said, and what he said typically will represent the government's position. Then weeks down the line, ablakwa comes to say the opposite. And in doing so, he talks down on the people who are thinking that hair is important. First, let's see Haruna Iddrisu.
There is an ongoing debate in social media about haircuts and size and length of hair in secondary schools. We will not tolerate it today. We will not tolerate it tomorrow. And so long as we are molding character, if we give in to hair today, tomorrow it will be shoes, and the next day it will be the way they dress. Therefore, as part of our disciplinary measures, headmasters and GES, you are accordingly empowered to take full control of how students behave on your campuses. So anybody who thinks that your child will walk into any institution of learning as if that child, forgive my words, was to attend a beauty contest, the school environment is not for that purpose and not cut for that purpose, and would not tolerate that as an institution.
That was the Minister for Education speaking at Mauli Secondary School 75th anniversary. To all intents and purposes, the Minister for Education, Iddrisu Haruna, was actually communicating the government position on the matter. To all intents and purposes, that's how it will appear, isn't it? He was communicating the government position on the matter. But then comes Okudzeto Ablakwa last Saturday at the other day event. Come along and join us. So let's show it. Let's see what did Ablakwa say.
Instead of focusing on how strict religious doctrines are being enforced in our schools and the weird correlation between short hair and disciplined students, it is time to ponder over the real issues. Why is our educational system producing graduates who criminally create thousands of ghosts to fleece the state when real human beings are looking for jobs? Why is our educational system producing graduates who will destroy our environment, pollute our river bodies, and create a public health crisis for the rest of us just to advance their greedy galamsey search for gold? Why is our educational system producing graduates who lack ethical leadership? Why is our educational system producing graduates who commit Ghana to unconscionable transactions? Why is our educational system producing plutocratic graduates who want so much for themselves and don't care about the country they lead and the generations coming after them? To me, with all due respect, these are the weightier matters.
So the Minister for Foreign Affairs in his government is telling the Education Minister that, Chief, that's your ridiculous analysis of short hair and it has a correlation with discipline. I don't even understand it. That's not what you should be focusing on. Focus on why people come from the university that we are training them. They are doing this. You are a new Minister for Education. You have inherited a system. Check why the system produced those people and stop talking about things that are not important. That's the content analysis of the two videos. About 4 weeks apart. That's the content analysis. Ablakwa is fighting with Iddrisu Haruna. Iddrisu Haruna is fighting with Ablakwa. Ablakwa is fighting with him. My responsibility here, viewers, today is to show you that as a political news reporter, I know why. I know why they are fighting. So I'm going to take you through it. Stay with me. Don't go fast. Stay with me. I'm going to show you why they are fighting. It's for a very big price. They are not, they are not fools. They are not fools. They are fighting for a very big price. And they won't be fighting if the price is not big. It's huge. You can see, Saki has put on the screen, the tussle for VIP in NDC. That's what they are fighting about. That is the fight. They both of them want to be the next vice president if the NDC were to win 2028. And both of them want to be vice president for the same presidential candidate. So this is the vice president, Professor Jena Nopokwajiman. She has long had an excellent relationship with Ablakwa in the Mahama first term. Let me tell you how that relationship occurred. Before the Mahama first term, during the campaign, she was a debate host. She and Kojo Ponkroma were the host of the IEA debate. Sami Okudzeto Ablakwa was part of the team to prepare President John Dramani Mahama for the debate. So typically, between the IEA, the debate host, and the candidates people, they have some encounters. And it is there that I believe Ablakwa and Madam became quite tight. When the election was won, the vice president now revealed her NDC colors, because when she was a debate host, she didn't show that she's NDC, even though she had been a Radio Gold, and many people thought that she was an Ato Ahoy protege. In fact, we made the point on social media, if you go, is there, when she was being chosen for the running mate position in 2020, that Ato Ahoy, who were represented by the word Church Street, because he had an important office in a Laboni street called Church Street. So that's how we call him in political parlance. When news reporters are talking, they talk of Church Street. They mean Ato Ahoy back in the day when some people also used to call him Don King and all of that. So when we are exchanging text messages, we say Church Street says so and so. It means Ato Ahoy says so. So we put out a note that Church Street is pushing for Jena Nopokwajiman to be the running mate of Professor Mills. I still remember who told me, but I won't say it today. Now, when she became running mate, before she became running mate, she was Minister for Education. When she was Minister for Education, Ablakwa was her deputy. So in the first Mahama term, they forged such a tight alliance as deputy and boss. Ablakwa was the more political deputy. She is the more technocratic vice chancellor of the university, blah, blah, blah. So they worked together excellently. Then Iddrisu Haruna at that time was working far away. He was working at communication. No, he was working at trade to labor, something like that. Communication was in the Mills administration. She wasn't a member of the Mills government, but Ablakwa was a member of the Mills government. So right now, Ablakwa has been a member of 3 executive governments: Mills, Mahama, and Mahama. 3 executive governments. So this vice president is close to Ablakwa. Now, vice president has come in the saddle. Perhaps you should have added Ofusu-Ampoffo's photograph for me. Vice president has come in the saddle. They won the election. She's vice president. Ofusu-Ampofo hears that Johnson Asiedu Nketia is eternal, perennial nemesis in the NDC, is running for president. Ofusu-Ampofo doesn't want that to happen. Okay, so he is saying that, but Madam is more competent than the party chairman, so Madam should be. So Ofusu-Ampofo is pushing the Madam agenda together with Alex Segbefia. Okudzeto Ablakwa here is responsible for gathering the Volta region onto the vice president. You see, Okudzeto Ablakwa, his work is get Volta region for the vice president. And Ofusu-Ampoffo's work is that anybody but Asiedu Nketia and first vice president is competent. Alex Segbefia is rooted onto that agenda as well. So this is what is happening. All right. Now with this background, let's go and look at the history and what Ablakwa and his friends are making. This is the NDC ticket from 1992. NDC ticket from 1992 is Rawlings, who is Ewe and Gan by culture, Ewe by blood, and Scotland. So you have, he's 3 in 1. He's Scotland, he's Ewe, he's also Gan by culture. So that's Fly Lieutenant Rawlings, Ewe, Gan, Scotland. That's Konkensinaka Afanti, the first NDC ticket that came on the ballot in 1992. Ewe, Gan, and Scotland, and then Fanti. Let's move on. Next NDC ticket, Ewe, Gan, Scotland. What do you have again? Fanti again. Next NDC ticket. What do you have here? Fanti. And this is where it gets interesting. From this NDC ticket to the 2024 ticket, it has always been Fanti and Northern. Fanti and Northern. Fanti and Northern. From this 2004 up to today, all the NDC tickets, Fanti and Northern. You doubt? Let's check it out. Next. Fanti and Northern. Again, this is the winning one of 2008. Fanti, Northern. Next. Okay. Fanti, Northern. This is 2016. Yes. This is Fanti, Northern. Okay. Next. Fanti, Northern. Up till today. So the NDC ticket has been Fanti and Northern till today. The case that Ablakwa them are making is that, please let me have the 3 of them again, Ablakwa and the vice president. Yes, the case that Ablakwa them are making is that if Jenan Opoku-Agyeman is going to be the candidate, how again are you going to go for Northern? Ebe! When the Voltarians have pushed their numbers, they've pushed their numbers, they've multiplied their numbers, they've pushed their numbers upon numbers, and NDC on election night can always go to bed because they know that K2 South, Adudome, North Dai, South Dai, Ahoy, all those people, when they are coming, NDC is smiling. This is what the NDC has done in election 92 up to today. You will not have an Ewe on the ticket. Rawlings was not an Ewe. He's an Ewe by his mother, Mama Abotui. The rest of his life is gone, and his Scottish is Obroni and Tree, and his wife is Ashanti Royal, and you can't say that Rawlings is Ewe. Yes, the Ewe supported him, and the same support the Ewes gave to Rawlings, they've given it to Mills. They've given it to John Mahama. It's the same support. The Ewes have given their support to NDC. How then would you go and bring Jenan Opoku-Agyeman and say that the running mate should be Haruna Iddrisu? A day, give it to Ablakwa. This is the fight. Now, the people who are controlling some of the affairs are not looking yet at the presidential election. They are looking at the primaries. The primaries. Now, Madam is going to run the primaries. She's older, so she might not be able to do everything that... Asiedu Nketia and her are about the same age, isn't it? But you have Julius Deborah, who is very strong, I hear. I mean, you can see it on the exercise. You have the agric minister who is also, very young and all that. You have Kofi Boa, who is quite, very fit. So they are going to cover more ground than Madam would, of course. So Madam is fancy. So hopefully you're going to secure that. The 5 northern regions are going to be crucial for that NDC victory. Is Ablakwa going to get the 5 northern regions for you? 0. Will the Ewes vote anyway? Yeah, they might. Because Madam has been on the ballot with John Mahama 2020 and 2024. So she's the one that's the latest recollection of presidential something. He's the one that they can remember. They like her demeanor. She's calm. She's not fighting with anyone. She's cool like that. She's mother for all, that kind of thing. So the Ewes might, with a little bit of push, give her their backing. Ablakwa can secure that. But if you secure that, and you don't secure the 5 northern regions, and that goes to Asiedu Nketia, or that goes to Julius Debra, or that's a split between Julius and Asiedu Nketia, madam, you can't win the contest. You're out. You can't win. So some people are looking at, we want to put madam on the ballot. That's the most important thing. This issue about running mate matter that Ablakwa is talking about is going to create a problem. But Haruna Iddrisu is a firm guy. Oh, he has put his cards on the table. I'm going to back you and I'm your running mate. He's not pussyfooting about that. He's told them, they know, they've agreed on it, that I'm going to put my cards on the table. I am the running mate to madam. If you allow me to do that, I will deliver the north for you. And can he deliver the north? Oh, yes, he can. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Iddrisu Haruna can deliver the north. So this is the fight. This is the fight that has now come to PA in our WASI. The fight has now come to the WASI, where education minister makes a policy statement. Foreign minister comes a month later and says the direct contradiction to what the education minister said. That's how the fight is.